Welcome back to Creepy Confidential. I'm your host, Noelle, your resident weirdo Wisconsinite. Here on Creepy Confidential, I open case files on my favorite cryptids, cults, conspiracies, and other worldly creepy. Welcome to my favorite time of the year. Yes, I do enjoy the spooky season just like all the other creeps out there, but I am a true Wisconsin baby. Born during a huge snowstorm in a true Wisconsin winter, Christmas had just passed less than 48 hours before. Everyone's decorations were still out and the winter season was in full swing. My parents rushed across the bridge to get to the hospital and wondered why I was coming already when my showtime was not scheduled till February. Full disclosure for everyone listening, I believe in the Christmas spirit. I believe that listening for sleigh bells on Christmas night during a cold, snowy night is an absolute must. Combine this story of this tiny little Christmas baby and the history of my favorite holiday icon, and then mix that with an inner creep and weirdo, and I only have one question to ask myself this year. Is Santa really a cryptid? Merry Christmas, creeps! So if you grab your closest cryptid catalog and flip through the pages, you will see all the greats. Bigfoot, Mothman, Lochness Monster, and many others. Someone you won't see is Santa, aka Father Christmas. And why not? He fits all the tabs. He lives in a terrain that is uninhabitable. No one has, quote unquote, caught a Santa. He leaves evidence that he was there. And he has a very distinct call. Ho, ho, ho! Come on. You mean to tell me if you don't hear that, you immediately start looking for Santa? But think about it. He's kind of like a cryptid. So let's start at the beginning. What is the definition of a cryptid? So let's look it up. Per Merriam-Webster, cryptid is a noun, an animal that has claimed to exist but never proven to exist. Now, let's break it down even further. So we have a definite definition, a scientific definition, as you will, and now let's build our theory. So first part states that cryptids are, quote, an animal. Now, Santa is human, or so we think, humanoid, according to legend, and mammals, because we're mammals, are animals. Or at least so they told me in my elementary class. So easy, done. Let's move on to the next part. That has been claimed to exist. So let's talk about the claims. We know his aliases. We know where he may live, or his common place that he likes to, hang out. We know who his fellow associates are, which that kind of sounds like a mob thing, but we do know that he has little other creatures that hang around him. We know he's married. He has a wife. That also means a person, or a personoid. We know what kind of vehicle he drives. We know his work schedule. I keep saying work and things that are kind of associated with humans, but we do. He shows up at Christmas, and of course we know his job description, and kind of who shows up with him. That sounds like we know his day in and day out existence. That's more than just a claimed to exist. We know that these things are true. He's a cryptid that we know so much about, and yet we have never actually seen like a physical caught up to him and had a conversation type of person. That's very cryptid-esque. Look at Bigfoot, Mothman, all those things. We've seen them. They had an instance of existence, and yet it doesn't exist, but he does. All cryptids, right? Elves, magical reindeer, and let's not forget Mrs. Claus. So there's all these little bits and parts that could also be part of that whole kind of cryptid nation, cryptid society that all is associated with the same big daddy cryptid of Christmas, which is Santa. So let's break down what we know. He lives in the North Pole. This is a place that's known to be treacherous, uninhabited, and constantly changing due to the ice shifting on a regular basis. There is no way an actual physical person could develop an entire facility with employees on it and a permanent structure on moving ice. But this is where we say, hey, Santa lives at the North Pole. So let's talk about sightings. What do we know? Every year, Santa is seen in the sky. He comes to homes, he's seen on rooftops, he delivers packages to all the boys, girls. Oh, and people leave out cookies and milk as a little snack for jolly old Saint Nick. Even as an adult, I still do this. Sightings similar to Bigfoot, Lochness, and even the world-famous Mothman. So let's talk about the comparison. Similar to Bigfoot sightings, when the elusive Sasquatch apparently disappeared from one site, this is what Santa does. He disappears from the site. People see his wondrous sled in the sky being pulled by also famous reindeer. There's video footage all over the internet of these types of sightings, and even a radio broadcast. Now, I know there's naysayers out there. Well, that's just created for the kiddos. How do you know that? How do you know that? So let's compare this flying to one of the favorite, most internationally favorite cryptids. It is Mothman. People swear to see the red eyes and then off they go. Others claim they actually see the creature flying through the night sky that looks like the supposed Mothman. Unlike other cryptids, Santa brings something else to the table. Employees, or elves. Some think that these little elves may be linked to the remains that were found in recent years, and thinking that they could be a descendant or an offshoot of the hobbit skeletons that were found in fairly recent years. Now, other things that are in common. Santa is rather hairy, kind of like Bigfoot, but you can see his face. Many other depictions with flowing beards and locks, ditto to many cryptids. Now, that distinctive cry we talked about, ho, ho, ho! I just love doing it. So do many cryptids include, giant species of bats, things like that, also have similar noises that they make. It's just that this one is more humanoid because he is a humanoid cryptid. Now, Santa only sometimes exists in folklore stories. So do many cryptids until people start to hunt for them. And it's once this starts to snowball that it becomes, no, they really exist. I saw it, so-and-so saw it. Oh my God, I saw Santa. Those are all things that come together. Now, the part that throws everybody off about this kind of discussion about Santa as a cryptid is that there are technically no eyewitness testimonies. There's all kinds of videos that people see in the sky what looks like Santa, I'll say Santa and his reindeer that are going across the sky. There's a difference between looking at the sky and going, oh, gee, that's an F-18, or, oh, look at that, that's a Boeing 747, because typically that's what hangs out in the skies is planes. But this looks different. I remember a couple years ago, it was Christmas Eve, and it was just snowing, like a real, honest to gosh snowstorm, and it was coming down. Within a short period of time, there was inches and inches. And I thought, I'm gonna go for a walk in it, because again, the Christmas baby in me almost Christmas baby in me just absolutely loves crazy snowstorms when I don't have to drive to work, right? So here I am, and I think I'm gonna go for a walk. And when I get down the street and all you hear is that, and you just hope and hope and hope that all you hear is these crazy sounds, and you hope. And you better believe I was looking, and I thought, the little kid in me was like, man, I wonder if that's Santa. Now, there is some scientific discussions, believe it or not, about at least the creatures I found, the creatures that are involved with Santa. So, the little elves, there's a cool article online by the Naked Scientists, and they talk about why are Santa's elves small, and essentially where like the little bodies that they have found, the skeletal remains, trying to kind of connect the dots between, as funny as it is, the kind of lanky elf-like creatures from J.R.R. Tolkien, and then these tiny little elves that are at Santa's side helping him get the work done. So then there's a discussion again about those guys also being cryptids. So if anything, this is just a fun discussion about Santa. And I believe, like I said, in the Christmas spirit. I want to believe in Santa, and I'm going to keep that tradition going. But next time you buy that cool Mothman shirt or Bigfoot shirt and it says, I believe, don't be afraid to, maybe make one or buy one. It says Santa that says, I believe. So we'll end this little Christmas discussion this time for the last time this year. And I hope everyone has a safe and wonderful holiday. I hope that the big cryptid comes down the chimney and hopefully brings a gift or two for you guys and your family. And, please don't try and catch him. I don't think he wants to be caught. But I do hope you guys have a great Christmas holiday. We won't be back until 2023, so we'll see you guys next year. Our next season, we're going to be bringing out some good stuff. So the Cult of the Month starts in January. January is going to be aliens, everything aliens, Cult of the Month, and then the 2 episodes for that month is going to be aliens. I'm hoping to bring you guys some really fun stuff in the next year now that we're getting this little train going here on Creepy Confidential. And don't forget, we have our YouTube channel that you can follow. YouTube always has at least some sort of visuals so that you can kind of follow along and see what I'm looking at, what I research. And then we have Instagram, Twitter, and we are on Audible now. So you guys can listen to us mobily, same place you guys listen to your audiobooks. So again, everything at Creepy Confidential. If you guys want to talk to us on Twitter, it's Supcreeps, SUPCREEPS. And I hope you guys have a safe and wonderful holiday. Thank you.